The producer of Disney's Wizards of Waverly Place, Disney's the titular character.
Titular.
I'm sweating. The producer of Disney's Waverly. Welcome back to a new episode of Can't Think Straight. This is our second to last episode for the season, which is a little weird and a little sad, and we all decided it ought to be a little fun to do something glamorous, so we're focusing on Hollywood today. Last episode was a little heavy, so we're going to talk about, some more fun things in the news. So we're going to have Kylie kick off the episode with a little information regarding the Hays Code and homosexuality in Hollywood. Do you think, Carner?
Hi, I'm Kylie Carner and this is Crash Course Can't Think Straight, and today we're going to be discussing the Hays Code and how it has impacted LGBT representation in Hollywood film. The public perception of the LGBT community has majorly shifted over the last few decades. The community has made strides in gaining equal rights and protections from discrimination in legislation. However, attitudes towards homosexuality and transgender non-binary individuals have also shifted. Hollywood is the largest film industry in the world and has immeasurably large impacts on its viewers' opinions. The ways in which different types of people are portrayed and discussed on screen directly impacts public opinions on represented groups. Now, back in the 1920s, the presence of controversial topics on screen, such as homosexuality, caused religious and political groups to criticize Hollywood for its loose and questionable morals. Pressure for legislators to regulate the film industry's explicit content increased, and nearly 100 bills censoring film were introduced. Faced with the possibility of being censored by the government, the film industry decided to self-regulate. In 1922, a man by the name of Will H. Hays was elected as president of the MPPDA, or the Motion Picture Producers and Distributors of America.
A white man? No!
Where he in 1930 created a set of rules for what could and could not be portrayed on screen, titled the Hays Code. The Hays Code was a moral code that described what content was acceptable and unacceptable for film in the United States. It was based upon conservative values and banned all sorts of things that were considered controversial at the time, such as white slavery, profanity, graphic or realistic violence, and nudity. It also banned sex perversion or any inference to it, which meant any deviant sexual behavior. Homosexuality was, at the time, considered to be sexually deviant, and was therefore inexplicitly prohibited by the Hays Code. Prior to the code, LGBT relationships and individuals were rarely portrayed on screen, and when they were one-dimensional, demonized, and exploited. Queer characteristics were often applied to villains, monsters, and other evil characters. And queer characters pre-code were almost solely conveyed through the use of stereotypes. The concept that homosexuality is nothing more than gender inversion was extraordinarily evident in pre-code Hollywood, where lesbian characters were represented as masculine women and gay characters were represented as feminine men. Pre-code, gay characters rarely showed their sexuality explicitly and were underdeveloped and represented primarily through offensive generalizations. Despite the Hays Code's ban of explicit representations of homosexuality, film producers continued to include LGBT characters. To circumvent the code, writers wrote LGBT characters using subtext. In film, subtext is a method of storytelling that employs unspoken and implied meanings. In other words, ideas are shown implicitly rather than explicitly. The subtextual coding of a character as gay is called queer coding. And it was the only way that gay characters could be represented. Queer coding applies characteristics that are typically associated with queerness to a character without ever actually confirming it. And like most narrative devices, queer coding is not necessarily positive or negative. Since queerness in men is associated with femininity, conveying a man as homosexual through his femininity reinforces the idea that queer men are not real men.
This is a load of barnacles.
Present day, Disney employs the specific stereotype with their villains, including Scar from Lion King and Hades from Hercules. Disney's use of queer coding to characterize their villains is obviously negative, but queer coding was also used simply to provide representation of the LGBT community while circumventing the Hays Code. The use of queer coding to represent the LGBT community provided cultural visibility during a period of time in the United States when discussing homosexuality was incredibly taboo. While the Hays Code restricted film content, some movies challenged these ideas by bending and sometimes breaking the rules put in place. One film that challenged the restrictive requirements of the Hays Code is Some Like It Hot, a 1959 film featuring Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon, and Marilyn Monroe. The film is about two men who disguise themselves as women to escape from gangsters after witnessing a crime. The entire premise of the movie fundamentally goes against the principles that the Hays Code stands for. Some Like It Hot pokes fun at ideals of traditional masculinity, is amiable towards homosexuality, and positively portrayed female promiscuity, which at the time were all groundbreaking things to display in film. In fact, in the very last moment of the film, Jerry, one of the men who disguises himself as a woman, rips off his wig in front of Osgood, the much older man that he is considering marrying for security, to reveal that he is in fact a man. Osgood's unfazed reply is simply, well, nobody's perfect. And this was in the 50s. Such an unbothered reaction to the notion of gay marriage on screen at this time was groundbreaking. Ultimately, the movie played a significant role in the movement to create a more inclusive and LGBT-friendly culture in Hollywood. The Hays Code was officially repealed in November of 1968 and was replaced with a film rating system that we still use today. The methods of storytelling used, while the Hays Code was in effect, have had a massive impact on how LGBT characters are currently portrayed in film. LGBT representation is exceedingly important for everyone, whether a member of the community or not. Opinions and attitudes are informed and influenced by representation in film, and censorship benefits nobody. That's all for today. Catch you next time on Crash Course with Kylie.
Thank you, Kylie. When we come back, we've got some Hollywood-themed headlines for you. You know, I really wanted to do an episode unscripted, just for like the hell of it, but I know that would send Kylie into a third-degree panic attack. But I think we should do it. But I also think humans should be able to breathe underwater, and that hugging bears shouldn't be as dangerous as it is. So the likelihood of me trying an episode totally unscripted is as probable as me hugging a bear, which is fairly probable. Apparently, Selena and Haley are beefing again. I wish I could offer more insight on this topic, but I genuinely couldn't care less about it. And apparently, Selena and Haley feel the same way. Sites like TMZ are seriously running out of material. Riverdale's final season is to air March 29th this year. Thank you. The teenage fever dream has been supplying us with cringeworthy bullshit since about 2017. In a mere 6 years, Riverdale has taught us two things. Nothing is more important than the epic highs and lows of high school football, and there is no limit to how much respect I can lose for Cole Sprouse. This is a real image from the show, by the way. Upon doing research for tonight's headlines, our writer encountered not one, not two, but 27 separately written articles about Rihanna's pregnancy cravings. It's cookies and donuts, and once again proving that celebrities really aren't so different from the rest of us. The producer of Disney's Wizards of Waverly Place spoke openly in a recent interview about the character Alex Russo and her sexuality. Murrieta said that they attempted to develop and eventually showcase a romantic relationship between Alex and her female friend in the show, Stevie. Sadly, due to the network and the era of broadcasting, this relationship never made it into romantic territory. Another loss for the gays. During a recent appearance on The View, beloved R&B singer Lionel Richie was quoted saying that his all-night-long love sessions have regressed into more of a fierce 15 minutes. So it looks like he's still putting men everywhere to shame. Over the week on Sunday Today, Nathan Lane recalls when his sexuality was investigated on the show Oprah back in 1996. Lane expresses gratitude toward the impressionist legend Robin Williams, who diverted Oprah's nose out of Lane's business. Pedro Pascal bought the entire cast of The Last of Us, Five Guys, Burgers and Fries, to say thank you for their hard work, which reminded me of the time when Trump bought the Clemson football team McDonald's after winning the national championship. What an era we live in. You wouldn't be able to tell from watching the trial, but Gwyneth Paltrow is currently facing charges from a hit-and-run accident 7 years ago that took place on a ski slope. That actress now faces fines up to $300,000. And it appears all the prosecuting lawyer wants to discuss is her jealousy of Paltrow's height. So on the topic of like Hollywood and stuff, I just always wanted to know why the carpet is red. Like honestly, like shower thought moment. Like why not make it dark blue or purple? Because I know those are the colors that signify like power and royalty. I don't know, I just feel like red's basic as be for real. When we come back, I'll be transported out of this little studio and to another location that has yet to be disclosed to me.
Life is a journey. We're told that there are mountains and valleys before us. A mountaineer trudges through. Where others see an obstacle, a mountaineer sees an opportunity. A mountaineer climbs tomorrow's mountains today. So what is a mountaineer? A mountaineer is you.
Hi, my name is Melissa Weddle, and I'm Department Chair of Recreation Management and Physical Education at Appalachian State University. We offer 2 degree-granting programs, one in Recreation Management with a focus in Outdoor Experiential Education, Recreation and Park Management, and Commercial Recreation and Tourism. Our second degree-granting program in Health, Physical Education, and Coaching offers teacher certification for public schools in health and physical education. You can get a minor or certificate in coaching. We are the front porch to the Beaver College of Health Science, where our focus is on quality of life, wellness, and physical activity. We're located in the beautiful mountains of Boone, North Carolina, so come join us, check out our website, or take a class.
Hello everybody, I'm Carla Roosh. I work kind of directly above us in the Dean of Students office, in the Dean of Students suite, which has some different resources, good place to know about. I do a few things. I work with off-campus housing, minor criminal charges, even if the App State Police were involved. You know, I heard somebody say something about copyright. Students have intellectual property questions, not my area of expertise, but I research it. Lots and lots of landlord-tenant traffic tickets. You know, I can give you advice on literally pretty much anything else other than like I want to sue the university. They will not let me advise students on that. It's when a student comes for legal advice, it stays in my office. I said I've been doing this for a while and have helped students with name changes for over 20 years. Lots of different reasons why students choose to go through a legal name change or want to go through a legal name change. A lot of it can be related to family. Either I want to adopt the name of this particular person who I'm close to, who raised me but maybe wasn't my actual parent, or I want to disassociate from this particular family name. Aligning with gender identity, of course, is a reason that, you know, is important for lots of people who want to change their names. And then people just want a different new name, because when you do the legal name change, this is going to be a case that you file at the courthouse. It does have fees attached to it, which we'll get into. It will result in a notation of the new name on your birth certificate. And then you can take that order and go to really any other office, agency, institution, business, and get your name changed. So this type of lawsuit is called a special proceeding. It's heard by the clerk of court. You're not going in front of a judge. I don't think you would even go into a courtroom. You're going to be doing it in the clerk's office. It's fairly informal. That's your first step, is to get fingerprinted. You call to schedule an appointment. It costs $10. You then go to a website, and the link is on these instructions, and you request both a state and a local background check. Those are two different channels. Then you've got some paperwork, and I have samples or models of each of these documents. All of these documents are very basic. The notice of intention to change your name is literally one sentence that says, you know, take notice that Carla Roosh intends to change her name to Carla Smith. And you sign it. That doesn't have to be notarized, actually. It gets posted on a bulletin board outside the clerk of court's office. The petition is where you really lay out all the facts, which, you know, again, it's only ends up being a little more than a page long. You state your name, you state your date of birth, where you were born, each of your parents' names as they appear on your birth certificate. You don't have to attach your birth certificate, but they just ask for this information. You state what you would like to change your name to, and you do have to give a reason, but it does not have to be anything elaborate. And you also state that you are not on the sex offender registry, that you don't owe child support or taxes, and that you've attached a background check, a state and federal background check. That background check does have to be completed within 90 days of when you file this petition. You attach 2 affidavits of good character. Again, very bare bones. 2 sentences, you know, I am so-and-so, I'm a resident of Watauga County, or whatever county you're filing your name change. So the paperwork itself, you know, amounts to a very slim pile. So the filing fee that you pay the court is $120. That's the filing fee for a special proceeding. So it ends up being $162.
Hi, I'm Matt Huntenar. I'm with Transfer Admissions and Engagement.
Well, I have to ask, why did you guys decide to do tie-dyeing?
Oh, wow. Well, number one, it's an activity that really should be done outside. And it's a beautiful fall day. Why not be outside in front of Mountain Laurel Hall? Makes the cleanup a little easier when we're outside. It's just fun, and it allows students to be creative. And it's, you know, a lot of students have never done it before. Many transfer students struggle with the process of coming to a new campus. They've had success at their previous college, so when they get to App State, they may be a little reluctant to form those new connections. And so the purpose of the events is to, yes, have fun, but really help them build those connections with other offices on campus, other students, have them join other clubs. Yeah, that's why it's important to me, because this week we're celebrating National Transfer Student Week. We know that what is good for students is for them to form those circles of friendship. And so they come to dye t-shirts, but they're also making new connections, making new friends, you know, having fun, maybe taking a break from their academics.
So where can we hear more about future events?
So we post everything in Engage, and then every week, on Monday, we send out a communication, but every week it informs transfer students of the transfer events, but also the other events, like all of the homecoming events next week, all of the wonderful things put on by career development. We feel that our social media is pretty active, and we use Instagram, Facebook, of course, and then Transfer Scoop. Thank App TV, thanks for coming and covering the event. You're always welcome to come to the transfer student events. Thanks a lot.
So everybody, this is my sort of cousin Caitlin.
Our siblings live together.
She was kind enough to use me for her video production project, so I figured why not return the favor by forcing her to have a conversation with me that will inevitably cause you to lose brain cells. Are you ready?
As I'll ever be.
Let's spin this wheel. So, Scientology. It's something.
Yeah.
It is something.
It's there. It exists.
It's very prominent in Hollywood, which is interesting. 'Cause I mean, I see a lot of religious depictions in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But it seems like Scientology is like specific to Hollywood. What's your knowledge on it? Because I don't have a ton.
I've seen the first 2 episodes of that one lady's story on Netflix who left the Scientology group.
Oh.
I don't remember what happened in those.
Do you think
I remember guards like not letting them leave. Like you gotta live there kind of for the first couple months if I'm wrong.
Oh.
But yeah.
Oh.
And then she got out.
What do you think that living experience is like?
I don't even know.
Yeah. So I know Tom Cruise paid a buttload of money to be the face of Scientology, because apparently being the face of Top Gun wasn't enough. What are your opinions on that? Do you think he should have just stuck to Top Gun?
I didn't know he was the face. It's kind of interesting. I think he's very good in Top Gun.
Yeah.
And didn't know he was a part of Scientology.
Does he play 007? Is that who that is? Is
James
that
Bond?
No, you're right. That's somebody else.
That's not James Bond.
No, James Bond? Wait, yeah, that is James Bond, 007.
Yeah, James Bond is 007.
Yeah. So who?
Tom Cruise is not James Bond.
Okay. I feel like he should be.
He'd be pretty good.
He'd be pretty good as James Bond. Would he be good as a Scientologist leader?
I feel like no one should be a Scientologist.
I feel like Scientology, like I remember when I first read about Scientology, because I was like, what is this? I like looked into that and I was like, oh, Scientology? That kind of makes sense with where I'm going, you know, like I do believe in like natural physics and science, like that makes a lot of sense. Why hasn't anyone told me about this? Well, apparently they have very outdated views about
everything.
Just about.
Pretty much.
So was it The Handmaid's Tale?
Yeah, so the only other thing I really know about it is I don't remember her name, but the woman who plays like the main character in Handmaid's Tale is part of Scientology.
She's the chick.
She's got the crazy eyes.
Yeah, wasn't she the chick who was in Gilmore Girls? Is that the main character, or is she just in it? She's
not the main character in Gilmore Girls.
Okay.
She is known for playing like effed up roles. Like everything she does is just like psychological torture on camera.
Do you think that stems from her belief in Scientology?
Maybe they're making her do it. And like she's just been conditioned to like that's normal.
Hey, that's a theory right there.
It is.
Because like I said, there's a weird involvement in Hollywood with these Scientologists. And I'm wondering if they're just trying to like take over with media influence. And we're just like, it's slipping right under our noses. It's getting swept straight under the rug. I don't know, I feel like there's just so much shade.
The one theory that I've been seeing a lot about is how every time there's something bigger happening, all of the celebrities cause drama to get you distracted.
At some point, it's like I hear about the drama and I'm like, is this just like first world problems that they're experiencing? Are they just like,
probably,
oh, poor me, I'm bored. But I also like, of course there's like a hint of that, I'm sure, but I really do feel like it's like trying to be a distraction to us, you know, like something's happening that's behind the scenes, and the things that they're discussing are very surface level.
It's possible.
I feel like
it's all above our pay grade.
I think it is above our pay grade, and I feel like that's a nice little segment to end on, because you know what? We'll never know. And I think the only way we'll find out is if we join Scientology. And I'm petrified to do that, so if
I might. I just want to know the inside scoop.
No, I really do.
I do.
All right, well, thanks for coming on here and chatting with me about nonsense and a topic neither of us really know much about, but I think we did good. I think we did good.
We got it, we nailed it.
All right, get the set. Well, everybody, thanks for watching The Wheel of Mind Contortion.
Life is a journey. We're told that there are mountains and valleys before us. A mountaineer trudges through. Where others see an obstacle, a mountaineer sees an opportunity. A mountaineer climbs tomorrow's mountains today. So what is a mountaineer? A mountaineer is you.
Bryce in the shotgun takes a snap. Troy sends 4. Bryce rolls left, gonna heave it deep, and it's not gonna get there. It's caught by Christian Horn. He's around the outside, and he scores! He scores! App State wins! Holy mother meatballs! It's a touchdown for App State on a Hail Mary! Christian Horn! Touchdown!
That concludes another episode of Can't Think Straight. Thank you all so much for joining. We've got one more episode for the season, and I'm gonna try my best to make it a banger. But it'll probably just look a whole lot like the rest of our episodes. So, I'll see you on the flip. The Impressionist legend. I can't believe this. Okay, I was just wondering, can we just remove the titular?